What's going on here with my tree? Look at this bright, green, vigorous growth. That must be good, huh? No, that's actually pretty bad. So this bright green growth, that's called a sucker. And in this video, we'll show you what to do about it. Almost all fruit trees are grown on rootstock. The rootstock is selected because it's really vigorous, it's disease resistant, and sometimes it moderates the size of the growth of the mature tree. But because it's very vigorous, it really wants to live. What you want to live is the graft up above. If left alone, the shoot will actually overtake your tree. Because it comes right up off of the roots, it will be getting all of the nutrients and all of the water, and it will grow and grow and grow. Most any fruit tree that you have is going to be grafted. Apricots, peaches, nectarines, apples, pears. How can you tell if your tree is grafted? When you look at the trunk, there'll be a knobby area. And this is where, at the nursery, they created your grafted tree from the rootstock. Mine's about 10 years old, so I've got a big trunk here, and it's really well defined where that graft occurs. When you're looking at your fruit trees, identify where your graft is, and then anything below that that's growing is a sucker. This is coming right out of the bottom. Here's my graft. This is the sucker. This is an unusual tree. It has 3 grafts. 1, 2, 3 different types of peaches. This right here is one of the grafts that you can see. All of this is rootstock. If I had any green growth on this entire area, I would cut it off because that's a sucker. This is a first-year tree. Just planted it in the spring of this year. Here's the graft. So again, anything that grows from below here, that we would cut that off. Or things that came up from the ground, we would cut that off. Those would all be suckered. The sucker is really vigorous, and it can be hard to tell from your tree. This is a first-year sucker. I found it while I was doing my summer pruning. The sucker can be hard to tell from the tree. The leaves are different, but they are also quite similar. Sucker. If this sucker is left here, it might even produce fruit, but it's not going to be the fruit that was your grafted tree. Whether you've got like a Fuji apple or a Blenheim apricot, this is rootstock. It's not going to taste nice. Removing suckers from a fruit tree is something a beginner, intermediate, or advanced gardener can do. You're going to need a cutting tool. Mine is so big I think I'm going to need the saw, but you could also do it with nippers. On the question of when to trim a sucker, you want to get that sucker as soon as you see it. Me, I've let this one go too long. So now I have to crawl under my tree with my hand saw. Generally, you can get them with nippers. They don't tend to be real tough. I'm going to take this one off. You want to take it off as close to the tree as you can possibly get. If it's coming up from under the ground, push the dirt back and cut it off at the roots if you can. I really would like to be like this, but I just don't think I can do it. So I was wrong. It's at an awkward angle and I can't get it with the saw. I'm going to try the loppers. So this is not what you want. This is a really big sucker. It's the biggest sucker I've ever found. But it's a good example of how vigorous the sucker is. As I said, this is 1 year's growth. This wasn't here last fall. And most of the time you're just gonna be able to nip them right off. And how often should you do this? As soon as you see them. There's no reason to leave a sucker. You can take them in the summer, the spring, the fall, or the winter. Only tool you need is something to cut with. Thanks so much for joining us for this video. We are UC Master Gardeners of San Luis Obispo. We'd love to answer your gardening questions. Look in the dialog box below for links to other helpful videos, documents that can help you with your gardening, and our email, and you can ask us questions.